everybody. How are you today? Welcome back to my crafty den. I'm going to do a little bit of journaling, and I'm trying to decide whether I want to do more art journal or journal. I don't have very much left in here. I think I've got two more pages. One more. I can't do the back cover. So I've got one more spread to do in here. I might finish it up. I might finish this book up, and then I can start a brand new one for the beginning of April. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use some of this tissue to give this a little bit of a vintage background feel. And I think, isn't it? It's, oops, I'm sorry. I just about tried to wrap it right around the camera. Yeah, I'm just going to rip some of this off. Never use my scissors for something like this. Never, never, never. It's just the whole, it's almost like the color of something that's coffee stained or tea stained. And I love that about this paper. I think I've mentioned before that I just bought these. I got them online through an auction, buy and sell type of thing. And I paid $5 for a whole shoebox full of vintage patterns. But I bought them, when I bought them first, I bought them mainly for the artwork that's on the front of the packages. You know, the old vintage styles and stuff. And I thought that they're just fabulous. Like, so pretty. Excuse me, I'm just shaking up my gesso here. I am going to use this plate and dump a little bit of this. It's the clear gesso, and I'm going to use that to prep this page or prime the page and put this paper down on it. So yeah, anyway, I bought them for the artwork on the front and have so much of this patterned paper that it's really fabulous to work with. It's just awesome. But yeah, I've found that it's handy for so many different things. I love it. Absolutely, absolutely love it. And one of the best things that it's for is just dropping down a background on a piece of white paper. It's just exactly what I'm doing. And I love that. So I'm just going to put this down here. I was wondering if the gesso would actually just glue this down, but I don't think it will. I don't think it's gonna. I'm going to have to put a little bit of... this clear gesso isn't as sticky as what I would like. So, what am I going to glue it down with? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Yeah, this is it. This is the one. This is the winner. It's my Mod Podge. I'm going to dump just a tiny bit of this out because I don't need a lot. I have a little lid here. And I'm just going to put a tiny bit in there. It's about the size of a toonie, or a little bit bigger maybe, but not much, because that'll be lots to cover this page. I'm going to dry this first, so I am going to pause you for 1 second and I'll be right back. That only took a second. Gesso just takes such a second to dry, eh? It's just awesome. So I'm going to, now that I've got the gesso down, I gesso everything first. And the reason that I do that is because I made this book just out of the cheapest printer paper that I could find. And I'll do that a lot of times. And then sometimes I'll glue a couple pages together, or sometimes I just strengthen the pages with gesso and a lot of different kinds of medium, but I never kind of know how much liquid I'm going to add to a page. And when that happens, I don't think I'm going to get to the edge here. When that happens, when I'm not quite sure, it doesn't hurt to have a layer of gesso down in the background. So I'm just going to do this. And scrunch it all down. Now these wiggly pieces on the top that aren't stuck to anything will go down when I put a layer of Mod Podge on top, like this. Watch. I'm just going to put some there and then go over and put some under there. Put some under here and go this way. But yeah, always do the top. I do anyway. I don't know if everybody else does, but one thing, I'm not a art anything. Like, I've never taken an art lesson. I've never done anything, you know, like I have no knowledge at all. When I create an ATC card or a tag or my when I do a journal page or anything like that, everything that I do, I've just done it from trial and error. And ew, there was a hair there. So you don't have to have a ton of knowledge. I think that if you want to create something, you just need to pick up whatever it is you're going to do and start. Just pick it up and start. Everything I do, I just do from the heart. It's just absolutely feeling. Just feelings. And that's it. Absolutely. I don't have any kind of education, or I've watched, I love watching YouTube. Same thing you're doing right now while you're watching this. It's just such a huge encyclopedia at your fingertips. Everything that you can think of doing, you can find on here. And yeah, just you get an idea from what somebody else is doing and run with it. Just run with it. And don't be afraid to experiment. Experimentation is the best thing in the world. You can experiment with color, with texture, with different kinds of medium, with anything that you can possibly think of. Just throw it down on paper and see how it turns out. That's the best way to learn. I'm going to dry this, and once more I will be right back. Okay, so it's not dry. It's damp, but I can touch it and I'm not sticking to it, which is all I need to be able to turn the page over and trim off the excess paper, which I'm going to do right now. So, so yeah, anything that you can think of doing, you can just do it and experiment. What's the worst thing that can happen? You make something that you're not happy with. Like, that's not going to be too bad. I've made tons of things that I'm not happy with. A lot of times I just gesso right over top and start over again. Nothing is a waste. This is the simple journal page that I did last week. I just felt like doing a brain dump, so I threw some pastel chalks down and journaled on top of it. But it all depends on what kind of a mood you're in, too. Like, nothing that I make is the same as anything else that I've made. I probably couldn't completely duplicate anything that I've made. Like, I couldn't recreate anything that I've made. I could probably do something similar. But why would you want to? Some of the best part of art is that it's individual and each piece is different. Yeah. There, I'm just sticking a little bit of this down with it on the corners with the gesso. Now I'm trying to decide what am I gonna do? I want to put color on here. It's dry enough to do that. Maybe. I'm gonna use a makeup sponge. Or what should I use? I'm gonna put some of my Distress Oxides on there. I'm going to do a little bit of this fired brick and this peeled paint. I love this peeled paint, the green. And maybe I'll get a blending tool. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, I think. I'm going to use my blending tools. So I've got, they're not even real blending tools. They're my DIY ones. I think I've showed you how to make these. They're just corks and that one will work for that. Oh, this one will work for that. And I'm gonna get a new one for the red, I think, the fired brick. So I'm gonna open these and I'm going to pick up some of the color, and I'm just going to start. And I'm just going to keep doing this. And I'm going to add both the colors and kind of blend them together. And I'm going to keep doing it and building it up until I'm happy with the look of it. Now this should, what it should do is 2 or 3 different things. It'll add color. It will define the creases and the texture in the paper that I glued down. And it will, so it'll show more texture. And it'll create depth, because if I keep adding and then stopping and going, I'm going to use a different blending tool for each color though, so that I don't cross-contaminate it. So if I keep doing this, I should just build it up and build it up and build it up, and yeah, that should work good. I think I'm happy with this color. The thing that I love about these oxides is that they dry so fast that by the time you move across the page, you can go back and keep going over spots and give it another coat. So look at how nice and rich, and it's soft and muted, but rich at the same time. And the depth is there because you can see the lines through it, and you can see this beautiful texture as well. So I'm going to just add another quick layer of gesso over this, and I'm not going to double brush anywhere if I can absolutely help it, because I don't want to ruin this color. And it will. The oxides are not waterproof, so by adding this to them, it'll, there. I just don't want to blend that too much. But I do need some coverage, because I want to do a little bit more on top of this, and I don't want it to all come through, and this will seal it a little bit. There. That's enough. I don't want to mix that up and turn that into any mud. You can actually tell, but see from my dish where I was picking that up, I was actually picking up some of the green and some of the red onto my brush just with that few swipes. So you have to be careful when you're doing that, but it will seal it. This will make it so that now I can work on top of it. So I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to wash out my paintbrush and wash off my plate, clean up my area a little bit, and come back and finish my little page here. So I'm going to put a few other things on the page. I'm feeling more artsy than journal-y today, so I'm going to do a little bit more here. I love this little dream catcher. So I'm going to stamp this. It's not going to stamp very good because there's too much texture on the paper, but I'm going to stamp it right up here in this corner as well as I can get it to stamp. Now I'm going to hold it down for just a second. Yeah, just a little hint of a dream catcher there. Now what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to take this little circle. I'm going to open up my clear stamp set, the feathers. Then I'm going to take my, which pen? This one, because it works good. And trace my circle, because I need a circle. There. Now I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. This is something new for me. I've never done anything like this before, and it's just an idea, so I just love the dream catcher, I love the idea of a dream catcher, and I'm not a great artist when it comes to drawing anything. So if I have kind of a random plan, sometimes I can put things together. So I'm not trying to make this perfect. You can see I'm roughing up my circle a little bit. And just darkening it in. But I'm kind of making it look a little bit more sketchy because I want it to look hand-drawn. Now this dream catcher kind of looks like, now I've done a little bit of Zentangling, and this dream catcher kind of looks like it's a repeated pattern. So I'm going to try it and see if I can do that. I'm going to do this. Like that. And I don't even know if this is going to work out because I'm just literally making it up as I go along. Oh, it's hard to draw right over top of a wrinkle. There, and now I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to put my lines at the halfway mark between each one of these. There. And now I'm going to take where each one of these things crosses, I'm just going to put a circle. Just a dot, like a, not where every one, I guess I'm going to every other one, kind of, aren't I? There. And what else can I do? I think maybe I should just take these right into this. There. Kind of finish it off a little bit. And then I'm going to take this stamp. I'm not going to put anything on top of this, so maybe I can use this one. It's permanent. It's wet until... Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Should I or shouldn't I? I think I'm going to do this in a different color. There. That one. And then I'm going to take this other stamp and switch this block out. And I'm going to put it down here. Now that's not going to work. So because I'm hitting the edge of the book, so I'm just going to pick that up and squeeze it from behind and hope I didn't smear it too much. So that one and that one. And then this one. Whoops. And this ink, this Dylusions ink, is so pretty. It's awesome to work with, and it's just so pretty. There. I'm going to have to move this over to the other side of the block, right to the edge of it, or it's not going to fit there. There. Cool. Cool. Yeah. I like it. Then I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to go to there, to there, to there, and to here, like that. And then I'm just going to put there. Isn't that cool? I can't draw, but that doesn't look too bad. Yeah, I like it. I'm happy with it. So I think it's really awesome, actually. I love it that I can create things without having to have too much talent. Like, anybody can do this. This whole thing is a stamp, so I mean, just to doodle away. This isn't perfect. It's not perfect by a long shot. But that's okay. That's definitely okay. So I do need some edging on this. And I'm going to make a nice heavy edge all the way around because I think it needs it. It needs to be kind of anchored. There. This is my last page in this book, and it's kind of making me feel a little bit sad. I've had fun in this book. So I'm going to make this darker. I want it to be a little darker yet. There, I think that's it. I think that's all I'm going to put on here. I'm quite happy with it. It's going to make a nice little journal spot. I think I'm going to find myself a nice sentiment to put here. And yeah, I'll be right back. I'm going to look for a sentiment for that, and that might take me a minute. So I've got it. I've got it cut out, and I'm just going to edge my pieces. And I'm going to do a nice heavy edging on these. I cut them out of some, I actually cut them out of the backing of the packaging that came with the stamps. So it's kind of like a cardstock. And because it's a cardstock, I can get a really good swipe on here, and it'll give it a nice edge. I think it needs that. I think I like this quote for this. So how do you all find your quotes when you're going to do things, your sentiments that you're going to put on stuff? Do you use the, you know, like the little word pieces and just look for things? Or do you do your own? I find that I'm way too limited in what I can put on by buying word and quote stickers. I know there's all kinds of them out there, but I like to just, I'll do a page, and then I'll just grab my computer and I'll go on Google, and then I type in, like in this case, I just typed in Dreamcatcher quotes. And I went through, and I didn't have to go through very far, and this one just jumped right out at me. So I was quite happy with that. And that's the way I do mine. And then I just write them out on paper and cut them out, edge them, and stick them on. I find that I'm not narrowed down to what I can do. No, I like that. I like that. That's just fine with me. Yeah. So that's going to be it. That's my page. I'm going to just glue my quote down on here, and I'm going to use, this has got so much texture that I'm going to use the quick dry tacky glue, I think. It'll be thick enough to, yeah, see, I just used the back of the packaging. I want back all the teeny tiny little bits of glue I've had to pull out of the ends of bottles over the years. I'd have bottles and bottles of glue. There, that's better. I'm just going to put a nice thick coat on the back. And then I'm just going to, I'm not going to push it down. I'm just going to set it on there and tap it a little wee bit so that that'll grab. There. Now once that dries, it'll be stuck right down. I might have to give it a couple of shoves until that glue tacks up enough, but I could have used my glossy accents for this, but it's not. I do when it's a piece, but when it's just in my book, there's less chance of stuff falling out, so I don't bother with the glossy accents in here unless it's to make a piece shine. Like, I always use glossy accents over something that, like a clock face, which makes it look like it's covered with glass then. Or, I'm trying to think what else. When I do my Julie Nutting dolls, I like to put a little glossy accents over their shoes, and I always do the shoes black, and then I paint the glossy accents over top, and it makes it look like they're wearing patent leather shoes. I just have a thing for that look. Whoops, better not put the words on upside down. That wouldn't be very much fun. Trying to get it back off again. Yeah, see, because the paper's curling up. I'll stick that back down in a minute. There. That's all I'm going to do. Now I'm just going to take the back end of this pencil and start shoving this down because it's tacky. Like it gets tacky really fast, this glue. So I'll only have to do this a couple times. Get it straight though. There's something to be said for putting your words on all, you know, this way and not lining them up, because you don't have to worry about keeping them straight then. Oops, squished that one down a little bit too far. So I'm just going to let this dry, and there it is. So that's my art journal page. So if you like this video, please give a thumbs up. If you would like to, I would really appreciate it if you could share my YouTube channel with your friends and help me grow my page a little bit, or my channel a little bit. And don't forget to comment, because commenting will get you into the monthly draw, as well as it lets YouTube know that you're liking the content that you're seeing. And if you like this channel and you would like to come back, the subscribe link will be right here. So bye for now, everybody, and have a wonderful day.